This episode of Now This Is Lit is brought to you by Audible. Check the link in the description to get your first Star Wars audiobook free. Everyone loves free things. Click that link. Do it. This show is also brought to you by our patrons. If you want to support the show in a different way, with just $1 a month, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. You can get a sticker. You can get access to an exclusive show that we do every month that's wild and chaotic and fun and something you can only get by becoming a member of the Patreon. There'll be so many more perks very, very soon. But for now, do you want a sticker? Do you want a sticker that has a Now This Is Lit logo? Because it's fantastic and I love them. But I also want to give them away because there's just a stack of stickers on my desk. So if you want one, $1 a month. Patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Somehow the end of the year sneaks up on me like every single year.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happens. It's just always like, oh, it's, the end of November. It's Thanksgiving. I have so much time left. And now it's gone.
Yeah. There was a brief moment where December kind of felt like, oh, it might take its time. And then that stopped.
Yeah. There's been a lot going on.
Yes.
That and I'm trying to schedule some stuff ahead of time for when we're going to be not working and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Literally and figuratively. Over the holidays, and my to-do lists are for me and me alone. No one else gets to see them, but if you did see them, first of all, you would immediately contact my therapist and be like, girl, you're not getting paid enough for this. But also it's been a lot, and there's just been a lot of other things going on. But yeah, this is officially the last episode of Now This Is Lit of 2025. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Made it another year.
It came up so fast. And I'm so happy that we are able to continue our tradition of not only talking about the reading goals, reading resolutions that we set and, tried to achieve in 2025, but also talk about some new things we want to read and explore in Star Wars publishing in 2026. And as usual, we don't know what the other person is going to do. We make our lists, we come here, and we talk about it. And I've been so excited to record this episode.
Hell yeah. Me too.
But first, just in case there's some new people around, you want to introduce yourself? Who are you? What are you doing here?
All right. My name is Davor. I'm a podcaster. I'm your producer on here and a few other things.
Yeah. Yes, you are. We also have our third co-host here, who is a dog, for context.
Yes. She's also a Toxic Legends fan.
She's a Toxic Legends fan, which, a little tease for some of my resolutions. She might actually like to stick around for this one. She's probably not going to say much, but that's okay. She's kind of just here for the vibes. So I think we can start if you'd like. We kind of did a mid-year update, kind of updated each other and everyone else on how we were progressing with our goals. So I think really quick, we can just go through those again, run through the things that we already know that we might have achieved, and then talk through maybe some of the stuff that we still had to finish or try to finish. And then we can go into what we want to do for 2026. Sound good to you?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so for 2025, my 4 resolutions that I had for Star Wars reading were I wanted to finally catch up, read all of the Darth Vader comics, because I'd read the 2015 run. I started the 17 and never finished, and then never got around to starting the 2020. And we had Master of Evil coming out in November, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read all of them and be caught up. So there was that. That was number 1. Number 2 was I wanted to read, from a certain point of view, The Empire Strikes Back, because I'd read A New Hope, I'd read Return of the Jedi. I had started Empire Strikes Back and never finished. I was like, okay, let's do this 3 for 3. Resolution number 3 is I wanted to revisit Light of the Jedi, in particular after Trials of the Jedi was finished.
Yes.
Because I read it when it came out, but there was a lot going on, so I didn't absorb a lot of it. As I discovered, I did not absorb a lot of Light of the Jedi. And also, I wanted to kind of go back to the beginning after we had the full context of the entire story.
Oh, yeah.
And then my 4th resolution was I wanted to read the X-Wing books. Because I'd done Alphabet Squadron. That was 2024's resolution. Well, 2024's resolution was really to kind of revisit 2/3 of the trilogy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, a lot of people compare the Alphabet Squadron books to the X-Wing books. So I was like, you know what? Let's go to do that because I always like to have like maybe one Legends kind of related resolution.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let's do that. It's 10 books. That feels kind of like a meaty challenge. So those were my 4 resolutions. I am pleased to report I've completed all of them.
Wow. And it was a challenge for you.
It was hard,
Yeah.
especially towards the end.
Yeah. Towards the end of this year, you really were just like, you really had no choice but to only read Star Wars. And I think you really struggled with that.
Yes, because I had the double barrel challenge of I needed to get through all the 2025 books so that we could do our awards. And I needed to get through my reading resolution books so that we could do reading. I mean, you could do the reading resolutions without having finished them. Yeah. But I wanted to get to the reading resolutions episode having said that I finished them all.
And you just also wanted to be a completionist.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah, I did.
I know in our updates episode we talked about Light of the Jedi.
Yes.
We talked about you hadn't finished Vader comics yet.
Oh, that's a good question. Had I finished the Vader? I think I did actually.
You have,
because I talked about how bad the 2020 run is.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I had done it.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I hadn't finished at that point was actually the X-Wing books, I want to say.
All right. And you did that.
Yes.
How did that go?
It was rough. It had its ups and downs, I will say.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Rogue books.
Yeah.
The downs kind of started when we got to Wraith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't enjoy those books as much. I don't know if that's controversial. I know people love the X-Wing books in general. I never really connected with the Wraith characters and their storyline as much as I did with Rogue. It just sort of felt like we're doing Rogue Squadron again, but not as well as we did it the first time.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I was telling you this, like I had a really hard time with the last book, Mercy Kill, because Mercy Kill takes a massive time jump. It goes like 30 years after when all the rest of it is taking place. So essentially all the Yuzan Vong, Jason Solo stuff has all happened.
Yeah, and if you don't have the context for that,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say I don't think this book leans too much on any of that, but I can't actually say that.
Right.
I don't know exactly how many of these characters are original to this book versus they've shown up elsewhere.
Right.
And now they're getting more of a story in this one.
Right.
I really can't say.
Yeah.
So I had a really hard time. In addition to, I don't actually just like an isolated level, I don't think the plot itself is very good.
Yeah.
But I also just had a hard time with reading it somewhat out of context, not of the X-Wing books, obviously, because I read the first 9, but out of the kind of larger galactic context.
I'm usually not for this particular argument, but I think this would be a good case for like reading Legends in chronological order.
Yeah.
As opposed to like by series, just because like it doesn't always. Sometimes you do miss things if you don't, read everything, and it's kind of. Well, I mean, to be fair, it is also like the last book in a series, so like it kind of makes sense. But also like if you haven't read anything else, then it's kind of. So if you'd read other things and then come back to this one, which obviously you didn't.
Yeah, I think because I looked at the problematic book, and I think it said chronologically the book before this is it The Last Legacy of the Force book? Maybe
God,
I want to say something like that.
Yeah, so you don't know. Yeah, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
it's really weird. But I guess it makes sense in the context of like Legends,
right,
or the EU or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but you got through it.
I got through it.
You got through it. It was hard. It was sometimes like it's okay to like one of the reasons we do these is try to challenge ourselves a little bit and like, yeah, you did great. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And like, I am curious too, because we can talk about it now because the book awards are out already. They're not out as we're recording this, but they will have been out by the time you're listening to this. You read all the Vader comics, particularly because you wanted to do that just before Master of Evil came out.
Right.
Master of Evil was your book of the year.
It was
adult
book, best adult book.
Best adult book. Sorry,
not my book of the year.
How did it feel to like have read all the Vader comics? Not that they're all like connected necessarily, but like how was that experience of like doing all the Vader stuff and then coming into this very, very amazing book as we talked about?
Yeah, I'm really grateful that I did the Vader comics ahead of Master of Evil. You don't really need them.
Yeah,
they don't they don't do much in the the 2021 happens after Master of Evil takes place, so you like literally don't need the 2020 comics.
Yeah.
But even and you don't 15 also takes place after because it happens between A New Hope and Empire.
Right.
So it's really maybe part of 17 because there's one chapter that does kind of a retelling of something that happens in the 17 run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But because it is a retelling, that also means you literally do not need to have read the 17 run because the book will tell you exactly what you need from that run.
Yeah.
So it's you literally like don't need the background of the of the comics. I think what was beneficial to me as sort of a person who is a fan of Darth Vader was getting to see, to being able to situate Master of Evil in the context of the Vader storytelling that we've gotten.
Yeah.
Most of which has happened in canon in the comics, like of late, like kind of in the Disney era.
Yeah.
There's obviously there's Rebels, there's Obi-Wan, like there's all that stuff. So that's also greater context. And so being able to kind of situate it within that, and by extension of that, getting to see just how good Adam Christopher does in terms of writing Vader, because you get the examples of Darth Vader being done in current canon that aren't great.
Right.
And so you get a greater appreciation for what he does. My Polishing Sabers article may or may not be out by the time this episode comes out, because I do kind of have a whole article on their website about like why I think like Master of Evil is as good as it is in the way that it uses Vader.
Yeah. In
comparison to how he's been used elsewhere. So I think it was helpful to read the comics in that way in terms of situating him within the kind of greater storytelling. I really should have looped also in Lords of the Sith, because I've not actually read that book, and this is the only other.
It's so surprising that you haven't read that book.
It's so weird
yet.
that I have not read that book.
Yeah.
It's not in my 2026 reading.
Okay.
But it really should be. Maybe I will just read it in 2026 so I finally
not?
have that. But
I mean, there should be an audiobook, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's an audiobook. Okay. Yeah. They're just like they're weird little pockets of missing canon.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, we'll talk about that with my resolutions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a fun year for Star Wars reading, I will say.
Yes.
Both in like just keeping up with like the new releases is kind of just like an unwritten like rolling thing that we both really enjoy doing. Because you did catch up with for the awards. You're caught up on everything that came out this year.
Yes.
Amazing. Even the comics now.
Even the comics. I was not caught up on the comics at the time that we recorded the book awards.
That's okay.
I still had there was like 2 issues that actually had come out. Like Jedi Knights hadn't come out yet.
Right.
But there were like 2 issues of things that I hadn't read yet. But now I am actually caught up on everything.
Yeah. And as we're recording, there's still 3 comics that need to come out, I think.
Yeah.
But still. Okay, I'll go through my resolutions for this last year. I talked about most of them already, so I won't dwell too much. My first one was to catch up on my Star Wars TBR, which just means that like I had Star Wars books that I owned that I'd picked up at used bookstores, things like that I just hadn't gotten around to reading yet. Some Legends, some just like other things that I wanted to catch up on, and I did that. And I already talked about that. And like again, this is also kind of one of those things that like I'm gonna keep picking up books and I'm gonna keep reading them, and that's just how it is. My second one was to actually finish the New Jedi Order, which I talked about in our mid-year update. I did that. Still very long, but I still did it. It took technically like 2 reading resolution cycles to get it done, but it's 19 books, so like you really can't blame me for that.
Yeah.
I don't remember, I'm going to be honest, if I had done this by the time we recorded that episode, so I'll talk about it now. I did also want to read the Dark Nest trilogy because that comes right after the last New Jedi Order book, and it leads into Legacy of the Force, which is my 4th resolution. I wanted to read all 9 of those books because I had previously read the first 2 a long time ago, and I had not read the rest of them, so I wanted to try to reread those first 2 and then read the other 7 that I hadn't read yet. I know what happens, you know how it ends, but again, I don't know like all of the things that happen. And I've heard, good things about it, so I wanted to read it. I did read the Dark Nest trilogy. I may have talked about this. I may have done it already by then.
Yeah, you may have.
It's weird, but I enjoyed it. In terms of the Legacy of the Force books, this is the only resolution for this year that I did not finish.
All right.
I still can't get too much into the actual context, but I will say that the last couple months of this year, I had a really big project that I was working on that kind of forced me to put this particular resolution aside because I just did not have time to read 9 Star Wars books. I reread the first one, and I really, really enjoyed it. I remembered some things about it, but honestly not a lot, and I had a great time, and I can't wait to reread the second book.
I wonder what one of your 2026 resolutions is going to be.
So this is actually not technically on this list. It's kind of like worked its way in though. Like I do want to finish them. That's kind of just like part of like I want to finish this one. It's not like I didn't count it as one of my 4 because I wanted 4 new ones. Okay. Technically, we'll get into that. But like again, I really, really enjoyed the first book. I know that I'm really going to enjoy the rest of it. I just did. First of all, I didn't really have time. The thing about that is, I could have kind of like you did. Really, if I pushed myself and only read the Legacy of the Force books, I could have read them all. Mm-hmm. But the thing about that is I didn't want to just rush my way through them to say that I did it. Because what I really want to do with these books, because I think it's the last, not technically the last big series in Legends that I have to read, but the first one that I like, because there's some I have to finish. I haven't finished X-Wing, but I'm pretty far in. Mm-hmm. I think like the last audiobook that came out with the Essential Legends was like maybe book 7.
Yeah, I think it's Solo Command.
Yeah, so I've read up to then. So like I do want to finish that one eventually. That's not on my list, by the way. But I'm doing that like as the audiobooks come out. It's a whole thing. But like this is like I have to read 8 more books, right? And that's I want to do that, but I didn't want to rush my way through it in like 2 months just to say I did it and not enjoy it because I wouldn't have. So hopefully I will be able to do that this year. But that's, again, not one of my resolutions. It's just it's been such. Our co-host does have some stuff to say. What do you have to say about Legends? Talk to me about it. Do you think that I should finish the series?
Oh yeah, I didn't comment on that when I was talking about finishing my the X-Wing books, which is that for 2 of them, for Izard's Revenge and Starfighters of Adamar, I ended up having to do the abridged.
Oh right, because that's all that there is.
Yeah, Mercy Kill has a full audiobook. Mm-hmm. But at the moment, those 2 books only have abridged audiobooks because they have not. It's weird. They were like they had a good streak for a while of adding them to the Essential Legends collections, and then they've like just stopped in the last couple waves. I don't know what that's about.
And like from what like I don't think we know officially what's coming next in Essential Legends unless we do. I don't think we do.
I've seen some reporting on what there is,
but I don't think they've officially announced it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look like they're doing any of those anytime soon, and I don't.
Yeah, it's really strange why they would start the series, get this deep, and then stop for the last 3.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Are they not essential? Only 7 of the 10 are Essential Legends.
I think
books.
You got to finish the series, man. We got to complete the set, you know? But I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I am, like, we don't know how many Essential Legends books are coming out this year, but I really am looking forward to that. Again, we have, like, quote unquote rumor.
Right.
But one of them you're quite upset about, but mostly about the cover.
Yes, one of them I have seen a cover and I have words, but we'll get to the point when it actually gets officially announced and is out.
Yeah, they're like, on top of all the things that we did, there was just a lot of Star Wars to read.
Yes.
There were a lot of comics, which I did keep up with. I'm also caught up on all the comics that are currently out. But also on top of that, I actually ended up going back and reading a lot of comics that I hadn't read yet in canon. Because I read the Darth Vader, the 50 issue 2021, which
my condolences.
We don't need to talk about that. There's nothing that needs to be said. I finished the Afro series, but I think that was actually like something that I meant to do and I didn't do it at some point. I think was that like a reading resolution from like 2 years ago? I feel like
something like that, maybe.
It's right there, but I don't feel like reading it. Yeah, and I read like there's like a 2015 like Leia mini series or something, like it was from a while ago that I read. I just read a ton of comics and I had a great time. And I'm so glad that I did that. But then also like all the new releases, because the High Republic, believe it or not, was still happening in the first half of this year, and that was a lot of reading to do very fast.
It was, yes.
But then, you got like all the books like this last half of the year that were also very good. Ending, of course, as we talked about in the awards, on a very strong note with Master of Evil.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been a great Star Wars publishing year, just overall.
Yeah.
But I think, with that being said, it's time to talk about 2026.
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Once again, I can't remember how we've done this in the past. I think you've just run through all of yours.
Yeah. I think we just I don't think we'd go back and forth.
And then I'll run through mine. Yeah, that works. It's fine.
All right, you want me to start?
Yeah, do it.
All right, so I got 4 resolution. We always do 4.
Seems like a good number.
It is a good number, yes. All right, so I'm really excited about these. Hey, I got some surprises in here and stuff.
Ooh,
so.
I'm excited. All
right. So, resolution number 1 is I want to read a series of books that I've talked about reading for a really long time. I've wanted to do this for a while. And again, like so much like it happens in Star Wars, like, oh, I want to get to that, but then there's new stuff, there's other stuff, whatever, and so on and so forth. And then I decided, you know what, like for this time, like I now have a mechanism to finally commit myself to do it. To do it, we have the reading resolutions. So my reading resolution number 1 for 2026 is I'm going to read the Servants of the Empire books.
Finally, oh, and then we can talk about them. Yes, oh my god.
Yeah, so
I love
Servants
these
of the
books
Empire,
so much.
if folks aren't familiar with it, is a 4-book series. I know this because I had to put them into StarWarsBooks.info. Written by Jason Fry, that follows Zaire Leone, who is in one episode of Rebels. He's the Imperial cadet that Ezra trains along with, and then his sister gets taken by the Inquisitor because she's Force sensitive. Mm-hmm. And so these books pick up his story.
They're so good.
And yes, because as a huge Rebels fan, these are books just like, and people have kind of talked about them. You've talked about them. And I've just always been like, Servants of the Empire, like I'll get to at some point. And then I was finally this year, maybe because of putting together StarWarsBooks.info, I finally just said, okay, reading resolution. Here we go. Here's how I'm going to make myself finally read these books.
Also, my interview with Jason Fry from this year, where we got to talk about that a little bit.
Yes, so that is my reading resolution number 1, is to finally read the Servants of the Empire
I'm
books.
so excited. I can't wait to hear what you think about these. They're so, like, it's been years since I read them, and they're, like, top tier for me.
Yeah, they are middle grade, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, I should know that again from StarWarsBooks.info. So, yes, that's reading resolution number 1, is to read the Servants of the Empire books.
Love it.
Reading resolution number 2. One of the things that I'm really proud of this year in terms of my Star Wars reading, or really for both of us, is having kept up with the comics and making that a bigger part of our respective Star Wars reading. between I did the Vader runs this year, and then also just keeping up with the 2025 releases. I like it. Again, comics are not my favorite medium of Star Wars storytelling. They can be like just at a personal level, kind of all over the place in terms of quality, from the ones I really enjoy to I'm like, this is fine, take it or leave it, to ones that I don't think are very good. So they're a little bit all over the place in that way, but I'm still liking it just from in terms of like the canon completionist of it all and kind of keeping up with things.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do a comics-related resolution this year. Again, this is another sort of... This also is a little bit in the Servants of the Empire bucket of I've wanted to read this for a while because people have always talked it up, and now I finally have a mechanism to force myself. I'm going to read the Dr. Aphra comics.
Yes! Oh my god, I love your resolutions so much.
Yes.
They're so good. Because you've not read the Alyssa Wong.
No, I read Chaos Agent as part of keeping up with, and I've gotten that has gotten mixed reviews. I have seen just like from other people's picking up. I mean, it's only like 5 issues long.
Yeah, and it's
a little, from what I gather, it's a little bit sort of removed from what came before it.
Yeah, it's fine, but it could have been so much more, is really all I have to say about it. It could have been Alyssa Wong.
Yes. And so in terms of the sort of canon of Star Wars comics, Aphra has been one of, if not the kind of essential big thing to come out of the comics.
Yeah.
Arguably the most important, like, Aphra and Vader in terms of just like duration, but then also influence and all of that. And so, yes. Having started on the Aphra journey with, I mean, technically I started on the Aphra journey by reading the 2015 Vader run where she first shows up, but then having also continued with picking it up back with Chaos Agent, I was like, okay, let's finally circle back and have the full Aphra experience.
Yes.
So yes, that's reading resolution number 2.
Oh, I'm so excited. So I think I actually, that was this year. I ended up finishing this run because I hadn't finished it. You are going to run into some of like the War of the Bounty Hunters stuff.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Like it's still very, they still keep it very much like this is still an Aphra comic.
Yeah. It happens in Vader too.
Yeah. So you're going to be fine. It's going to be, I think you're really going to have a good time, and I can't wait to talk about that with you too.
Oh yeah, it's going to be good.
Oh, you got some really good ones this year so far.
Thank you. Reading resolution number 3. As I said, I'm going to continue a tradition, which is including a Legends-related reading resolution, because I always do like that. I cannot, however, do another giant 10-book series.
No, it's
like
not
I do
good
with,
for you.
I have to microdose Legends, because otherwise I become ill. So I have to take it in kind of smaller increments, but I still want to keep up the tradition of having something Legends-related kind of in there, just for the sake of continuing my education into how I think canon is better. Building the data points for how we have it much better now.
And then you can write another article. No, don't write an article about that. You know how many there have been?
Yeah.
On both sides.
And so I wanted to pick something that's a little bit, just a little bit more enjoyable portion of a meal that I can do.
Yeah.
And kind of looked around and thought about what Legends series are out there that I could do that, again, that aren't excellent, that aren't New Jedi Order, 10, 15, 20 books. And I finally settled on one, and I think this is a good pick. And that is, I'm going to do the Darth Bane trilogy.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes.
There are audiobooks for that one.
Yes, and
too.
that was a part of my motivation, which is that because they had been part of the Essential Legends collection early on, there are unabridged audiobooks.
Yes. That's how I read this trilogy, actually.
Yes. So I think that I'm gonna enjoy, because I've done a little bit of Old Republic. I did one of the Revan books. It might not have even been the first one. I feel like it may have been like the second one.
It really doesn't matter in what order you read those.
Yeah, I don't. It was in our Audible library, and I listened to it. So I've not done a lot of Old Republic. And of course, that's one of the big kind of contributions in Legends, something that canon hasn't touched on, but might in the next few years, given the game announcement, if that comes to pass.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Looking at you, Eclipse, had fun playing that, not. So...
No, that one needed to die anyway.
Yeah, so it's not a period that current canon has really gotten into all that much, except here and there. you touched on some things.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's something I want to explore. And I think that this is a good avenue as far as I know, like it's these sort of 3 books. I'm not going to have the X-Wing problem of, here are the 30 other books you should have read before you read Mercy
Oh
Kill.
yeah, you can just read these by themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They will just be standalone, and I will get the story.
Yes.
And so, yeah, for all those reasons, I thought this is a nice little Legends resolution that I can give myself.
Perfect.
So I'm going to do the Darth Bane trilogy. Reading resolution number 4. We're going back to canon here.
All right.
So, we touched on this a little bit with Servants and Dr. Aphra resolutions, is like, and particularly with Servants, is like sort of filling in some of these canon missing pieces, much like Force Awakens in the map. They're like, there's these chunks of the map that are missing, and we got to fill in the map, and so we get the whole map.
Yeah.
And so my 4th resolution was sort of inspired by that, which is that I knew that in order to kind of get towards canon completion as much as I could, it might also be an impossible task, as we discovered with Star Wars books, that info. There's a lot out there.
Yeah.
There was one particular mountain that I would have to surmount on my journey to becoming a canon completionist.
I think I know what it is.
That's right. It's the Blue Pervert. Thrawn, baby. I'm going to finish the Thrawn books.
I thought you said you weren't going to hurt yourself this year.
You know what? I have a feeling that there's at least a sub-portion of listeners who enjoy listening to me hurt myself. I have read 2017 Thrawn. I have not read any of the other 5 canon Thrawn books.
All right.
And in 2026, I'm going to do it, baby.
The nice thing about the Ascendancy trilogy is you don't need to have read anything else for that one.
Yeah. I'm still going to go in publication order.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm going to wrap up the OG trilogy and then go Ascendancy.
Fair.
But I'm doing it, baby. I'm going back to Thrawn.
Actually, in some ways, there is like an argument to actually doing it in that order, and you'll understand what I mean by that.
I always argue in that order. With like people talk about that for the movies, High Republic books or whatever. People talk about like, what order should I read these in? And then you have like chronology, or people like with the movies, they kind of come up with their own sort of nested orders and whatnot. I always approach to the attitude of, things were released in a certain order for a certain reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I always defer to, there was an intentionality behind putting it out in this order, and so I'm going to follow that intentionality.
I won't say you'll be rewarded for doing that. You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see.
So I'm going to pick up essentially where I left off, which is with 2017 Thrawn, and then do alliances and go all the way through.
Amazing. So you're not going to reread Thrawn?
No.
Okay.
No, it was a few years back, but I think it was close enough that I remember sort of the main characters and the kind of general plot points. I don't feel like I necessarily need to revisit it.
Fair.
So those are my 4 resolutions.
That seems like a much more manageable...
Yes. I also went into these resolutions with that ethos of I feel like I set the bar maybe a little too high with 2020. I don't think we have quite the same problem, because the absence of the High Republic is going to give us a greater space, particularly between 2026 releases and all of that. Because at least from what we've gotten for the front half of 2026 is, there was this question. Now we sort of have the answers. Like, they're not really filling the High Republic gap.
No, we've got a new novel in February and then like 2 in July.
Yeah, we're just going to have fewer books.
Yeah.
So in a way, I could have shot higher resolutions, but also I'm happy to just kind of have a comfortable pace of Star Wars reading and not have to feel like I have to down 5 books in 2 months, which is kind of what happened at the end of this year.
Well, plus, like, there's also, like, life.
Yes.
You never know what can happen in a year. And also other books to read. Like,
yeah,
we love Star Wars, but, like...
Yeah. There's lots of other things that I want to get to from 2025, and then things are going to be coming out in 26, and so, yeah.
Yeah. Those are really good. I'm really excited to see you a little bit happier going through your resolutions. I mean, except for the Thrawn stuff. But you never know. You could really like some of it.
We'll see.
Never
we'll see.
know. All right. It's time to go through my reading resolutions for 2026. So this may surprise most of you listening, if you've been listening for a minute or if you follow me elsewhere, both or whatever, I really went for the minimalist approach here this year.
That's shocking for me. I mean, listen.
Well, I mean, you were kind of included in all of that, but yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say that, like, it's been a really, really good year this year for Star Wars reading and for me and stuff. I'm also just really tired. And, like, I want to make more of an effort to really... It's not that I don't enjoy reading Star Wars, okay, to be clear. I'm so happy that I get to read Star Wars for fun, but also to do other things with it. But I really want to make an effort, especially with these resolutions, to do something, not just to fulfill a resolution, but to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And this is going to mean, like, getting to things that I've always wanted to get to that I haven't yet, or, like, things that I've talked about doing that I just, like, had to put off. And yes, like, finishing the Legacy of the Force, like, throughout the year, not rushing through it, like a book a month at the most, is, like, kind of worked its way into that. But also, I talked, because we'd both kind of mentioned last year when we did this episode about rereading Dooku Jedi Lost.
Yeah.
I didn't get to it, especially around, High Republic ending time, because there's a lot going on, and then I took the summer off, which I'm really glad I did, by the way, because it was fun. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to reread.
I thought about
Dooku
making
Jedi
this
Lost.
a resolution because I've done. I've the last couple of years I've done some rereads. Light of the Jedi. I did that with Alphabet Squadron. I thought about Dooku Jedi Lost because I have really wanted to revisit Dooku Jedi Lost.
This came out in 2019, and I only read it. I only listened to it the one time.
Yeah.
And what I would really like to try. I don't know if I am going to be able to do this because it might overstimulate me and it might be too much. But I've heard that some people sometimes will, like,
read the book. Yeah.
Read the script and listen to it at the same time, or read the book and listen at the same time. And I have the script book, and I would love to see if, like, that, like, I'd love to start trying that and seeing if I can do it, if it adds to the experience. If it's just too much, I'll just listen to it.
Can you read it as fast as you listen to things? Or would you have to slow down?
I didn't think about that. Oh, God.
You're not going to be able to do your 3 times speed.
Excuse me? Sometimes it's like 3.3, okay?
Yeah. You're not going to be able to do that.
I didn't think about that. Okay, so maybe I won't. No, I'll try it. I'll try slowing down. I am working on, just in general, slowing down overall. So maybe this can be a good way for me to practice that. I'm really looking forward to it because, like, I've wanted to reread it for a long time. But also now that the High Republic is done and we know that there's some, like, High Republic stuff hidden in there that we didn't know was High Republic stuff because we didn't know the High Republic existed. I'm ready. So that's one. All right. So you talked about revisiting Servants of the Empire as, like, one of those, like, pieces of canon and, like, parts of, like, the Rebels, like, I don't know, like, publishing empire that there was that you never got around to. Along that same lines, because I've read the Servants of the Empire books. There's 4 of them. It's not a trilogy. But there's a lot of it, as we discovered when we were both working on the Star Wars Books.info stuff. There's a lot of other Rebels adjacent stuff.
Yes, there is.
That I have not read. And I love Rebels. And I want to read it all. I even have some of them, like some of, like, the journals that I haven't flipped through or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to read all of it. It's none of it is really long. There's that graphic novel, I think, or maybe it's comics that I have that I've never read. So, like, there'll be that. But then there's just, like, a lot of, like, fun, like...
Yeah, a lot of it is, like, young reading.
Yeah. But I want to read it all because I love Rebels and I never have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, like, something fun I can do, like, on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah. So I'm going to do that.
That's a good one.
And I'm really excited because, like, I would love to just, like, explore all of canon, but I don't want to I don't want to rush. The 2026 is all about slowing down. Maybe. So I'm going to do that, and I'm really excited. And who knows, maybe if I have some leftover extra time, I will also reread Servants of the Empire so we can talk about it. Because, again, another thing I've wanted to revisit because I've only read it once and I loved it so much. So I also, for my third one, kind of wanted to squeeze a little bit of Legends in there. And yes, I know I have the Legacy of the Force, but I wanted to do, like, because I want to work my way again through all of Legends slowly. And I didn't want to do another big series. because the New Jedi Orders kind of scarred me, and it will prevent me from ever doing that again, if we're being honest. So I was thinking about it, and I was going through the list of many Legends books, and I was like, what's like something in Legends that I've wanted to read for a while, but just haven't? And there's the MedStar duology that I've heard great things about, actually, that I've wanted to read, that I haven't.
I've never heard of this.
So I'm going to read it. I know nothing about it, but I've heard that it's good.
That makes two of us.
So I'm going to read. I can tell you all about it in our update or next year when we record this episode again. But that's like, it's 2 books, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little goal.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about that. Because I've heard good things, and it gets more Legends read, which I like. Eventually, I would like to have read at least all of the main like novels. But there's a lot. So a little at a time. And for my 4th one, because this is, as I mentioned before, kind of like a resolution that tends to like roll over from year to year, there are once again Star Wars books on my TBR that I have acquired that I have not read. Star Wars adjacent, things like that.
This is your perpetual 4th resolution.
I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna catch up again, because it's also possible that like I will pick up more books, because when I find like a Legends hardcover, I gotta get it. You know, if we go back to my parents and all those Legends books at that one store, one like antique shop are still there, I'm getting more of them. So we'll see. But yeah, that's just gonna be like, as I get a new book, that really my goal for reading is like to get to a point, and I know everyone says this and it's mostly joking, but like I'm totally serious. I want to get to a point where like I get a few new books, I read them before I get more books. You know, like I don't have room in my collection to just have a ton of books that I haven't read. It's just overwhelming. And I'm tired of being overwhelmed and overstimulated. It's a whole thing. I'm working on it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Simple.
Yeah.
Fun. I can work on it a little bit at a time. I'm not going to feel like it's too much. And I am going to do some other things. Like I want to go back and read some more comics that I haven't gotten around to. You know, I want to like do other reading related things, but these are my main things. And I'm really excited. I can't wait to just kind of enjoy my Star Wars reading.
Yeah.
Especially because there are fewer releases.
Yes.
It will be a lot. It's been a good year for Star Wars reading for me, but I want to have a really fun year for Star Wars reading. And that's what I'm going to do.
Hell yeah.
Simplifying.
Yeah.
Simplify is my word of the year for 2026.
It's a good ethos to have.
Yes. Hence why we just took another whole box of things to give away, because I have too much stuff. I'm so excited.
Me too.
I'm so excited for this year, for reading and for other things. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to hear what all of you are going to be reading in 2026. Whether it's like a book that's coming out that you're excited about, or something you've wanted to reread, or a Star Wars book you've wanted to get around to reading that you haven't. A comic. If you haven't read Path of the Lightsaber, get some manga in there.
Yeah, do it.
I gotta read some more manga this year too. I have the Lost Stars manga that I haven't read.
Yeah,
or
same.
2 of them. Apparently there are 3. You were so upset when you found that out.
I was so upset.
You're like, because we found 2 of them in the wild. We just happened to find one and then another one. And you're like, we have them all. There's 3.
I was so upset. I was so upset that day.
It was a rough day for you. But anyway, let's all have fun reading Star Wars this year. Let's all agree to just have a great time. And I'm sad to say it, but that'll be it for now.
I know, it's over.
But the next time you and I are going to be on this feed is in February for our Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to tell them what we're reading. They're just going to have to wait and find out.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Me too.
But yeah, I hope that all of you have had a great, amazing Star Wars reading year and just a year in general. It's going to be an exciting year for Star Wars. We're getting a movie, allegedly. I still don't believe it's happening, but allegedly it is happening in May. And we'll see what else we get. Ahsoka is happening. Is that this year?
It's not been confirmed.
Okay. Well, okay. Never mind then. No, we're getting a movie allegedly and lots of really fun books. And that's enough for me. It's going to be a great year for the show too. We'll see. I'm not exaggerating when I say this, or I'm not just like teasing. I really don't know what's happening in the show in 2026. How many interviews we're going to have, how many episodes we're going to have, what it's going to look like. And I kind of feel at peace about that. We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, we will.
But I'm so glad that all of you are going to be along for the ride. We hope that you have had / are having a great holiday time. And let's all go into the new year feeling good and ready to have some fun.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you in 2026.
Stay cool, people.
Now This Is Lit is part of the Faraway Fandom Network. It is produced by Davor and written, hosted, and edited by me. Jose Jimenez designed our podcast art. You can keep up with the show on Substack at Now This Is Lit, and find the show wherever you get your podcasts. There are so many ways you can support the show, and all of those ways are linked in the show description. The newest way is to become a member of our Patreon. For $1 a month, you can get access to an exclusive show and a sticker. And if we get 500 people to support the Patreon per month, I can hire an editor. That would be great for me, and maybe for you too. So if you'd like to support the show with just $1 a month, you can do it that way. Or you can just keep listening and sharing the episodes. That is also helpful, and I appreciate it. For more book reviews and Star Wars Book Celebration, follow Star Wars Book Reviews on Instagram and TikTok.